My name's Andres Amado. I'm from SEAL Team 6. I'm here to give an executive summary on our technical report number 1. We did a report on transitioning from a traditional book to an e-reader. The reason we chose this is because we had somewhat of a useful audience. Our partner Michael's parents have been thinking about transitioning to e-readers for the past year or so. They currently read about 12 and 24 books each, respectively. This report was a team effort. Each of us took on our own job and made it our responsibility to make sure that we completed that task to the best of our abilities. Tyler, our quality control guy, took care of the executive summary, as well as making sure that it all read well and looked good. Michael, whose parents were sweet enough to help us with this report, was in charge of being our strategic planner. Mostly, he did a lot of research and testing and questioning, which was nice for him because they were his parents. Ryan was our systemizer. He was in charge of making the outline, as well as Excel programming and making figures. He also did a good job at holding us accountable for those things that we needed to get done. Cameron was one of our system analysts. He was mostly in charge of figures and example equations, but he also helped out in other parts, like analysis and discussion. Last of us is Dylan. He's the only one of us with a decently high quick start, so we made him in charge of innovation and ideas. He also helped in other parts of the report, like the recommendation. The first thing we did to kick this report off was look up prices for ebooks and paperback books. What we wanted to do is get an average price for both so that we can compare the prices once we get a good idea of what it's going to cost for shipping and other convenience fees. The second thing that we had to do is collect some data in order to make some assumptions. So we found that the average shipping cost was going to be around $3.99. The average cost to travel for a store, including your time, was about $1.99. So what we did is we averaged that out and made the add-on price to a paperback book $2.99. We also made the assumption that the Kindle Fire would be a good enough e-reader to start with. Not only is it the lowest priced, but it's also the most readily available and most purchased on Amazon. So even though it's a baseline cost, we decided that it would be fair enough because anything else would be a luxury. We also assumed a discount rate of 5%, which is pretty common in accounting. In order to make that 5% discount rate usable for us, we had to convert it into an effective rate, which is like a monthly discount rate. You can see how we did that in this example equation. The final assumption that we had to make before following through with this report is that Michael's parents want to save money, which seems pretty reasonable to me. We start our analysis by looking at the comparison between the cash flow diagrams for Michael's mom. We broke it into a 24-month cycle because that seems like the usable rate for a Kindle or any e-reader on the market. We see that even though the initial costs for the e-reader are substantially higher, it's less per month from then on. So from calculating, we found out that after about 13 months, the cost for reading paperback books and an e-reader would be exactly the same, and anything longer than that, you would be saving money. For Michael's father, who reads twice as many books, we see the same trend. But since he's reading more books, the e-reader pays itself off in half the time. In about 6.5 months, he's free and clear and saving money. We concluded by analyzing the data that as long as you're reading about 7 books a year, the e-reader is the better option for you. Any more than that and you're just saving money. So as far as Michael's parents go, we believe that they should both switch to the e-reading platform. Not only is it going to be less expensive over the long run, but it's going to save them hauling around books, especially for Michael's dad, who's a pilot and is traveling all the time. This report breaks down to about 2 basic thoughts. Do you like saving money? Do you not like carrying around books? If you answered yes to both of those questions, then making the technological transition to an e-reader is the right move for you.